Breaking news now on your side.
And that breaking news, 2 explosions downtown so powerful it blew 2 manhole covers hundreds of feet into the air. Now there's a massive hole at Jefferson and Mason. Good evening. I'm Charles Benson.
And I'm Courtney Garish. Right now, crews are still on the scene, and our Annie Scholes is downtown with the latest. Annie.
And Courtney and Charles, we still have about 4 blocks blocked off here. You can see we have some tape and some flashing lights. This is still an active scene from something that happened around 5:30 this evening when crews got reports of smoke coming from a manhole cover. And when they arrived, they found heavy black smoke pouring from one manhole cover. And just a short time later, they're calling it a massive release of energy. Basically, it was an explosion underground that they think was caused by a fault in an electrical cable that started a fire. Now, as that burned, at least 2 manhole covers blew, and there was a severe buckling of the road at one point. Now, I did speak by phone with a woman while she was stuck on the 7th floor of the Pfister. Here is her account of how this all played out.
People were starting to exit and leave. Some had already left, and I was actually standing in the middle by more their coat check area, so kind of in the middle of the floor, and just at once, we just heard a huge bang and like the floor completely shook.
What went through your mind as you heard this?
We got all different information from those guests that tried to leave, but they stopped them from leaving for their safety. On the main level, they had kind of set up a nice area for everybody to, just eat and relax. They brought us 2 big screen TVs up here to the 7th floor while everybody kind of waited for that clearance to happen. We all were like, what's going on? And the other guests that were here kind of informed us of what was, going on the street. And, the sister was informing us about every 20 minutes about what was going on and when it would be safe for us to be able to go.
And I did hear from Tammy. She told me around 9 o'clock they were told they would be allowed to leave, although you can see that we are still being blocked off from the scene here as crews continue to do their work. I was told about 15 minutes ago We Energies crews were allowed to go down underground to take a look at this. They had to wait for all the smoke and everything to clear so they can try to assess the damage. They said we won't know much about that tonight until they can actually go through this area that was affected. I am told there are now about 600 customers still without power, but luckily no injuries at this point. I'm told the worst injury that was experienced was a woman who actually dove when one of those manhole covers blew, so she skinned her knee basically. So thankfully, considering what happened here tonight, everyone is doing okay. On your side, live in downtown Milwaukee, Annie Scholes, today's TMJ4.
And Annie, behind you we can see one of the fire trucks leaving, but is there a sense that they've got this thing under control? They really know what they're looking for?
At this point, yes, I do believe so. They do think it was an electrical fire underground, and because they were able to let crews down, that is a good sign that it is at least safe enough for them to be down there. Folks have been told they can leave their businesses and the area here, so that is all good right now. They actually brought in some barricades a little while ago to protect these manhole covers, kind of turning those into mini work zones, and I was told that's actually so they can let these first responders leave the area. So it does appear that things are under control, but of course there is quite a bit of work ahead.
All right, Annie Scholes live downtown for us tonight. Thank you, Annie.